Hey everybody, in this video we're going to talk about the top things to know to support your sex life over 40. Remember, my channel focuses on women, so that's the angle that I will be coming across from in this video. I'm Dr. Diane Mueller, your Libido Doc. And so one of the first things to start with sex over 40 is by the time people reach this age, oftentimes when you get tired at the end of the day, you're really tired. And one of the things that happens so frequently is that people wind up waiting till the end of the day to have sex, and then they're exhausted. And then this thing goes on in the head around like, okay, is he gonna start doing it, or should I start? Should I make the move? Is he gonna make the move? Oh, I'm so tired. I hope he doesn't make the move. I wanna go to bed. I'm so tired, right? So some of that story might be familiar to some of you. And the solution for that really is twofold. One is to have sex earlier in the day, right? So if you have date night, having sex before you actually go out for dinner and dancing or whatever you're doing, oftentimes can lead to a much better solution than getting home from date night and being like, oh, that was such a lovely date, and I'm so tired and I don't have the energy for sex, right? So think about how you can put sex into your life earlier, which leads me to point number 2 of like, you have to schedule sex almost always after a certain age. You have to have a time where it's scheduled, because oftentimes due to work, to children if you have them, to other things that are probably important to you like friends and social life and exercise and any hobbies, sometimes it can be like, well, where does sex fit in, right? And so it's so easy to be doing all the other things and then be exhausted, and then all of a sudden it's, sex is just not happening, and weeks and months, and unfortunately sometimes even years go by. So scheduling sex sounds sometimes like not sexy, but actually it can be done very sexy. And the other thing that's great about scheduling sex brings me to the third point, which is that foreplay changes as we age. And what I mean by this is it typically takes, as we age, more like a longer period of time for the female erectile tissue to respond. Females have as much erectile tissue as men do, but we also have circulatory systems going to this erectile tissue. We have circulation and blood flow to this erectile tissue, just like men. But as women, our erectile tissue tends to respond much slower. That blood flow to the erectile tissue takes longer for the erectile tissue to become engorged as compared to males. So this is true throughout life, but as we age, this becomes even more true, that it takes longer for our erectile tissue to have that circulation going to it in order to feel aroused. And so because of that, we wind up needing longer for foreplay as we age. And the cool thing about scheduling sex is when you know that it's your sex date later, you want to make sure that you are thinking about this and giving yourself time for foreplay. And sometimes this can be as simple as getting your partner engaged. Maybe it's through sexy text, maybe it's through sexy pictures, maybe it's through some different way that you guys are engaging and kissing each other before you leave for work for the day, right? So there can be a lot of different ways, but another component of this is also turning oneself on. So this becomes also more important as we age, to understand that typically it will take a little longer to turn oneself on, so we can start the process beforehand. So one of the things that we can do is like really understanding what turns you on. Is it certain smells? Is it a certain way the room looks? Is it certain clothes? Is it certain music? And as it's getting closer to your sex date time, what can you do in the busyness of your day to really start turning yourself on more? Do you wear different lingerie to work? Do you wear some sexy panties under your clothes? Do you play certain music on your way home that helps relax you and get you in the mood, right? Do you do anything different? Do you drink a herbal tea that is calming to you to get you in the mood, right? So we want to be thinking about and really acknowledging gently to ourselves, like, what is going to get us in the mood? What can we do for self-care so that when we start engaging with our partner, that our partner is going to, have some responsiveness a lot easier. And then the other thing that I want to say here is, do not be afraid of lube. Lube is super important from a standpoint of not having pain and also having pleasure. even if you're lubricated like well yourself, adding lube can add so much to your sex life. So I'm a huge fan of lube. Not all lube is the same. If you look in the show notes, you'll see a link to my store where you can get a discount on my favorite lube out there called Uber Lube. So just go to my store and purchase from that link and you will get a discount on that particular lubricant. It's a silicone-based lubricant. Love it, love it, love it, love it. It really helps with increasing sensation and pleasure and these sorts of things. And don't be afraid of lube. It can make the biggest difference in the entire world. So these are some of the things that I see most commonly help with sex over 40 for women. If this helped you, please tell me. If you feel like there's other things you need in this topic, please tell me. I want to make videos about what is the most helpful for you. Again, I'm Dr. Diane Mueller, your libido doc. Information about me is in the show notes. Please do subscribe. See you next time.